Hi everyone. I'm sorry I rescheduled it later and trying to fix everything and it's not working. So I apologize. There's an echo. I've been trying to get rid of it and I can't get rid of it. And the lighting is terrible and I've been trying to fix that and I can't fix that. So I guess we're gonna I'm going to be trying to fix the lighting live with you guys. Sorry about that. Well, I guess first things first. We have Trash Man is not in today, but he did send over the intro ahead of time, so we're going to do that. Oh, it's making me log in. All right, where's my phone? I don't even have my phone. I don't remember my login information. So this is going to be an adventure. Shoot, where is it? Okay. And my phone is freaking out, or my computer is freaking out. All right, well, I guess we're not doing his intro because I forgot to bring my phone in here and I can't remember off the top of my head my login information for Patreon. So I'm sorry, Trash Man. He did write an intro ahead of time and we're just not going to get it. So it said something about live from the Palmetto State. This is going to be more disorganized than usual, so that's why I said, it was just going to be a adventures in South Carolina to South Carolina and Q&A for today because a lot of things have happened. I don't even remember the status of things when we last talked and last hung out. Let me try to get this open. I don't have any of my usual equipment. I usually have multiple monitors. Don't have those today. I'm just on my laptop and a little webcam, and that's about it. Let's see if I can find, my goodness, so that I can try to keep track of the comments in all the different ways. No, don't edit the information. I want to see it. Oh, darn it. Sorry, guys. And sorry for that loud noise. I guess that's gonna annoy people if I try to figure that out. Okay. Yes, I see people already complaining about my background. So, okay. So, I am officially in South Carolina. I have made it. We had some issues in that all of our stuff was supposed to come in on Monday, and it did not. We did not get any of our things until yesterday, and I didn't even get the table that my laptop is sitting on right now or any of my lighting until an hour ago. I'm sorry. People are hopefully people are complaining about the production quality. Hopefully, despite the horrible lighting, the picture's coming in okay. It's new internet. I'm plugged into the Ethernet. I think I'm plugged into the right thing. The reflection on my glasses makes my eyes glow blue. Well, I can't. Yeah, I'll show you guys what this room looks like right now. How about that? And then I'll read the super chats. So let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm tangled. All right. Sorry, guys. So here you guys are. I have my microphone, and that's it. And then we have an otherwise empty room with a bunch of boxes. And that right there is the only lighting that I can get, and it's not even supposed to be facing in that direction, but it didn't make a difference. Even though we have a window, there's no lighting in here, and even though we have that light, it's just awful in here. So that pink chair over there is what I was sitting on for an entire week until today. And all of that is my lighting and my backdrops and my regular equipment and my computer. So, and the foam to try to get rid of the, oh, maybe if I sit closer. Oh, it was better for a second. Darn it. Well, ugh. Anyway, so, okay, let me read these super chats. Let me get them. Oh, it's not even letting me go and see it on my channel. That's really annoying. I'm used to, they changed the YouTube interface since I was gone. And so everything's in different weird places. View on YouTube. There we go. Okay. So now I'll be able to like see you guys here. Or it's giving me some new pop-up about moderation. I don't know. All right, let's see. Super chats. All right. Q says, welcome to the Real USA LD. Glad to have you. Have you purchased any standard capacity 30 round mags yet? Well, that's making crinkling noises. My husband ordered a couple because you can order them online here and have them delivered. We haven't gotten them yet. To make any other purchase, you technically have to have so in South Carolina, you do not need a license to purchase a gun. You need a license to conceal carry, but you don't need a license to buy anything. But my experience is when I tried to buy like even ammo in New Hampshire, I got carded. I don't know if that's standard procedure or because I look young or what the dealio is, but I got carded. And then when you get carded and they see that you're from Massachusetts, they refuse to sell you anything. That was at least in New Hampshire. So I don't know if that would happen here. So I haven't attempted to buy anything here. We couldn't even try to get our driver's licenses until our pod came because you need so much paperwork now because it's all the real IDs. And like, because the name on my birth certificate doesn't match my married name, obviously, I needed copies of the marriage license. I needed a bill in my name. I needed all of this stuff. So we haven't even done that yet. Jesse Meek says, welcome back, doll. I hope the move went well. We almost missed you. So do we need to start referring to you as director doll or doll director? Just asking because the last one sounds kind of weird. That is in reference to something that I posted on Patreon. And I don't know. I haven't reached out or returned emails or anything. Robin Patty says, yeah, late as always. Well, I did try to change it to 7:15 earlier today, and for some reason it wouldn't let me do it. It would only change it on YouTube and it wouldn't change it on Facebook. And my only alternative was to like delete everything. So I left it. I don't know. Mr. Rover Pilot says, I made it. Rose Blight says, glad to see you, Liberty Doll. Just put up a flagpole with an American and a Trump 2020 flags. I just realized I forgot to say hello to everyone. I'm sorry. Robert Chappelle says, for South Carolina roadkill stew. The Human Shrug, that's funny, says, my sister lives in South Carolina. Say hi when you see her. And Sean Marolf says, welcome to technical issues from being in a new location. Your background is fine. It's your first live stream from new home. Change the fluorescent lights out, though. I don't have fluorescent lights in here. As you guys saw, hopefully, when I showed around, there are no fluorescent lights in here. I'm next to a window. And it is still light out, but the way that the sun goes, light doesn't really come in this window in the afternoon. And then there's an overhead lamp light that's got like a yellowish looking bulb. And I just put up that softbox thing and it's way over there because it doesn't go up tall enough. So I had to put it on something, but all the stuff is over there. And is heavy. I could try, if you guys really want, I can try to move that forward and make things better. Because even if I like scooched closer, it doesn't really. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Eventually, I'll have my regular computer set up, and I will be doing those from like doing these from my desktop computer. But anyways, okay. So yes, I did not say hello to everyone, so I am sorry. I am more disorganized than usual with everything that's going on. So let's see. So we are in South Carolina right now, though on paper, so on paper I'm here, but on paper for work purposes, I am still in Massachusetts. Because the way that works with like the insurance companies is you have to give them like at least 30 days notice. And so I put it in for October 1st because that's when I told everyone that my Massachusetts practice was going to be closing. And I hit a few snags with that in that one of the insurance companies, and I told my folks on Patreon about this already, one of the insurance companies actually rejected my change of address. So, Mr. Rover Pilot says yellow paint makes look fluorescent. Yeah, unfortunately, this room is yellow. I'm not a fan of the yellow, but it is yellow. People are saying they're having buffering issues. This is the laptop that I always used at my office. I am plugged in directly to the Ethernet. So the video keeps buffering. Oh, this is the highest level internet that they offer. And I am literally right next to the modem. So hopefully that's not the issue. I guess I can sit here and run an internet speed test and see what it says. I guess it could be a YouTube issue, but I have the highest possible internet here. Like there's no other higher option. So if it's not working correctly, that is a problem. Well, so this says that my download speed is at about 900. And upload speed is at 21, 23. It is supposed to be 35. So that's a problem. Okay. Interesting. That's a problem. I guess I'll have to figure that out. All right. Well, I'm sorry for that, guys. Phone app is buffering while on the laptop. No speed issues here. You'll see less while streaming. Okay. I'm reading you 5 bytes. Okay, so it's a few people. All right. It must be on their end, Randy says. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. George Hayes says yellow rooms in a freeze state are better than neutral colors in Mass. Yes. So yeah, we got in. So like I said, so for work purposes, I'm still in Massachusetts. Because technically you're not supposed to see anyone at a new location until an insurance company okays it. But then with COVID, it doesn't matter. There's no restrictions on telehealth right now until October 22nd, at least. But I'm still paying for the old office until October 1st. So like on paper and as far as work goes, I'm in Massachusetts, but in real life, I am in South Carolina. So we got here last week, and the drive was actually surprisingly easy. I was really stressed out about it because I don't do traffic, but it actually went really well. Waze diverted us entirely around DC, so that was nice. So we went through like we each we took our separate cars. So I drove by myself the whole way with the dog, who was tranquilized and tripping out the first day. The second day, the medication did not work, and he chewed through his harness in the back seat. So that was cool. Yeah, so we went through Connecticut, New York City, Jersey, and Jersey was the only place that smelled like a sewer, of course. And then it took us down 29, which was really nice. It's really hilly and back roads, and you see all the farmland. Interestingly, the hotel that my husband chose for that first night ended up being on the University of Virginia campus in Charlottesville, and right across the street. So that's where the Unite the Right rallies were a few years ago. So it was interesting to see that in person, and those statues that were featured on a lot of the media about it in person. It was pretty bizarre. And there was actually, I wish I could, I wish I could show you guys the pictures, but I did leave my phone in the other. You know what? I'm going to text my husband from my work phone and ask him to bring my phone in here so that I don't have to get up and leave you guys. Oh, it's going to take a minute because this phone is horribly slow and awful. Poor husband. It's his birthday today too. Yeah, so what was I saying? So and it was interesting and kind of sad and frightening in a way that right across from the hotel there is this beautiful statue of I forget who it is. It's in my phone, but it's someone so and so, conqueror of the Northeast, and there were police barricades all around it and no trespassing signs, and there were people watching it at night. I couldn't see them, but I could hear their walkie-talkies going off. So I don't know where they were. I mean, it was really dark. So, and then there were people there in the morning too. And in the morning, I went to walk the dog. And first of all behind that hotel is frat houses with kegs just chilling on the front lawn. And, solo cups everywhere. And there were signs everywhere about wearing your mask and signs everywhere about meetings that were going to be happening this week to tear down that statue and, quote, give the land back to the indigenous peoples. And the land that they're looking to give back to these indigenous peoples is the size of this room. The patch of land this statue is in is so small, but they're going to tear that statue down and give that land, which I'm pretty sure is on campus, back to... I asked you to bring it in here, and yet that startled me. Thank you. And they're going to give that land back to the indigenous peoples. Really, and what are they going to do with it? So I actually have, I'll see if I can show it on, so if you can see, the glare, come on. No, that's not going to work. The camera is not focusing. Well, I tried. And the signs that were outside said, remove Clark the Conqueror Monument, give the land it sits on back to natives, build an Indigenous Studies Center. And then the meeting was yesterday and today. So you can't really tell because the phone would not, or the webcam would not zoom in on this, but this spot of land that this is on is not big enough for a building. So I don't know how they're going to put some Indigenous student center on it or something. Absolutely ridiculous. But so that was the thing that I saw in real life, because I hadn't seen anything like that in real life before. People are asking if Heather's corpse is still there. That's not very nice. That is not nice. Yeah, everyone says all I can see is your laptop's reflection. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, you guys can can Google it, I guess. But it's ridiculous. So interesting things in South Carolina so far. So in Massachusetts, we lived in the house that we were in for 9 years. And within that time, I met a couple of neighbors, mostly by accident, because there was an old lady a few houses down that would sit at the end of her driveway and wait for her sister to pick her up for breakfast. And that happened to be when I was walking the dog a lot of the times. And then a couple doors down from her was the secretary for my chiropractor. So those people I met sort of by accident indirectly. But the only other neighbor that I ever met in that whole 9 years that we lived there, the lady next door never spoke to us, never said anything, never introduced herself until the week before we left. We were here for a solid hour and a half, and one of the next door neighbors already came over to say hello and introduced herself and asked if we needed anything and told us about the other people in the neighborhood. And then a couple of days later, the old lady across the street and her son came over and dropped off food and sweet tea for us. And then yesterday I met someone else 3 doors down, who, told me all about her and her husband and their dog, and told me who lived in what house and whose home. And everyone that we've met so far is like, oh, if you need anything, just come over, just come and knock and we'll help you out, and da-da-da-da-da. So that is very, very different from our experiences in Massachusetts. The weather, obviously, is way better. And it's a solid, it's been in the 80s and 90s here every single day, but you would never know it because there's no humidity. I think that's because we are so far inland upstate. We are almost in the mountains. You can see, mountains. People that live in the Rockies or New Hampshire would turn their nose up at our mountains, but mountains. So we're actually 1,000 feet above sea level right now. And we were previously at 100. So that's a huge difference. Yeah, Matt Rohali says, from what can you do for me to how can I help you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very different. People are complaining that I look pale right now, and I'm sorry. It is the lighting. There's nothing I can do about it right now. I did the best that I can. Pickle Jars for Hillary says there are no indigenous people to North America. Even the first peoples migrated over. Well, technically, yeah. Andy says Mr. LD is a ninja. He is a ninja. Torque One says call hubby Liberty Dude. Yeah, he would probably like that better. He said that he does not like Liberty Ken. And he never told me that, but I heard him telling someone else that. What else? The bugs. The bugs certainly are interesting here. They are much bigger than they were in Massachusetts. And what's really bizarre, well, first of all, we came into the house, and I am not a fan of spiders. And we come in, and my husband, he goes, hey, you want to see something horrifying? And I was like, what? And we had just gotten in, and he brought me into the kitchen. There was a dead spider in the middle of the floor, and swear to God, the thing was this big, even all curled up, and it was horrifying. And another thing that, it's not horrifying, it's gross, But I mean, I think it's gross because of the stigma and not. So in Massachusetts, if in Massachusetts, you pretty much only find cockroaches in like really poor areas and in the projects. And here, like you go outside and they'll just be like chilling on a tree. Like I went outside yesterday and there was just one just like chilling on a pine tree. And the every house down here, at least every rental, comes with like a bug guy. And I guess the bug guy sprayed like right before we moved in. And so for the first couple of days, you would like walk into a room and it would be empty and you would leave and then you would come back and there would just be like a dead bug, a giant dead bug in the middle of the floor. And that was awful. And the other day we went into the garage and there was like a millipede just like hanging out and it was about like 4 inches long. I was like, oh my God, they're so big. And they're very loud. I like all the noises of the bugs and the birds and everything outside. Husband thinks they're creepy because I took videos of some of the noises. Let's see. Because they do make some fun sounds that he finds horrifying. And I'll find the video that I took because I sent it to my friend and I'll like put it up in the microphone so you guys can hear it. Here we go. Just like this random buzzing. Like everywhere. And then it just like stopped. And like, especially at night, that happens like everywhere. Mosquitoes are also very serious business here. So the first couple of days that we were here, once the sun started, it was still light out, but the sun had started to go down. And so I sat out on our little back porch. And within 2 days, I was so covered in mosquito bites that it was awful. I was waking up in the middle of the night and like scratching them in my sleep. And so one night, just for shits and giggles, I counted them and I had 50 just on my legs and they were like big. The mosquito, and that was even with like bug spray. Then you just like went through that. Christoph says, welcome home. Thank you. LaFiva says, it's LaFiva, and I'm a conquistador. Mr. Rover Pilot says, tell people when watching your video if they have buffering problems, the first thing they need to do is select automatic or a lower resolution. We've actually been having that problem with our Wi-Fi, just in that the shape of this house is like an L. And like the Wi-Fi thing is over here and the TV is over here. And so the Wi-Fi, and it's a brick house. So the Wi-Fi signal is pretty much dead in the living room. So we're going to have to figure out, we might have to like move the modem. I do have a longer Ethernet cable, but that is lost somewhere in the pod. Marie X says, don't worry about the complainers. I am still stuck in Massachusetts myself. Where did you live when you were here? So I lived on the South Shore. I'm not going to say the exact town because we still, I mean, my office is still technically like attached to that address and we kind of just abandoned our house. Which is a little worrisome because when we were packing, these legit crackheads showed up on our porch, and my husband was like packing the pod or something, and I was doing something inside the house. So like neither of us saw them right away, but they were literally like in the door frame, like looking around and scoping out our house. So that's super cool. So we have a friend that's been going and checking the house every day and rotating which lights are on and rotating, you know, which air conditioners are on all the time and stuff like that. because otherwise crackheads are probably going to break in and steal all our plumbing, because that's something that happens in Massachusetts. I don't know if that happens so much elsewhere, but it definitely happens in Massachusetts. People will break into your house and they will steal your plumbing. They'll even strip the like little aluminum strips off of windows. Because when we were house hunting, we actually we're shown a lot of houses that happened to, that every little bit of metal in the house was stripped out. So that happens. Gardner's here. Hello. Says, yo, you're running smooth on my screen, kid. Here's a little something for a celebration cake or Racco ribs to celebrate the move for you too. Thank you. Something else to get used to, even though there's tons of restaurants here, a lot of them seem to close at 2 for a couple hours for lunch, and then they reopen, and then a lot of them close at 8 or 9. There are some that stay open later, but they are downtown, I think. I'm not really sure. And Greenville County and all of the cities and everything that are in it everything here is a lot more spread out than it is in Massachusetts. So, say that you are in, I don't know, like Spartanburg or something, and like you're here and the restaurant that you want to go to is across town. Like in Massachusetts, across town is like 10 minutes. Here it's like half an hour. We have dishes today, but like our silverware didn't get packed. We don't have like knives or utensils for cooking or anything. So for the first few days, we survived solely on like granola bars and beef jerky. And then like we tried to do some grocery shopping, but we don't actually have everything to cook yet. We ordered some stuff we got already, some is still coming. And then I usually so I did not work last week. This week I'm like back to work and finishing up my clients. But like a full work day means that I finish work at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And at that point, like everything is pretty much closed. So that's going to be something to get used to. While as, where we lived before, there was a couple places that were within 10 minutes that didn't close until like 10 or 11 at night. So that's really different too. Tim Allen says, it's the YouTube app causing the issue. Nothing on your end. It happens on other streams I watch. All right. Thanks. Good to know. J. Derek Williams says, I'm watching on YouTube and Facebook. YouTube video keeps glitching, but the Facebook video is perfectly fine. All right. So then it's YouTube. The Human Shrug says, hell, I'm indigenous. Do they mean first colonizers? Probably. Robbie Max says, for new dice, you can't ever have enough dice. Thank you. Now I'm going to try to see if I can get in here and actually watch the chat, because I know that I also said Q&A. David Neal says, Daisy Cousins made a comment during one of her recent streams about you moving. Oh, interesting. I keep meaning to reach out to her. I didn't want to reach out to people before we left because I didn't know like the situation as far as how long it would take to get internet and get our stuff and get everything set up. And I'm glad that I did that, because like I said, our stuff ended up being delayed by like 5 days. And I did have like John Crump from Ammo Land reached out to me and wanted me to come on his stream. And there's a couple people, Joe Jorgensen, who is running for president, did something on Twitter a few weeks ago and said like, hey, for, anyone, I'm looking for podcasts and live streams and things to go on. And I was like, oh, you can come on mine. And she's like, okay, cool, fill out this form. But then I was like, oh, crap, we're moving and I don't know when I'm going to be back up and running. And now here it is. We're like less than a month away from the election and I'm still not set up because of everything. So like I said, bumps in the road. Oh, we also, when we got here, something had happened. So part of the lease requires that we run the irrigation system. Something happened and the irrigation system was leaking, and the entire like side yard and one of the driveways was flooded out, so much so that the water bill came in today and tried to say that we used over 10,000 gallons in the 2 weeks that we were here. Well, we haven't even been here 2 weeks. We've been here a week and a half, and it says that we used almost 11,000 gallons of water, and I'm like, holy crap. Luckily, that's it's not expensive here, but like, damn. So we have no idea how long that was broken. Sorry, there was just a really weird noise outside. Vince DeBona says, oh, if you want to donate more than $5, go to her PayPal. Don't do a YouTube super chat as they take 30%. They do take 30%. DeBlue Frogo says, happy birthday to Mr. Doll. Tristan says, Charlottesville, the only part of Virginia worse than DC suburbs, and I live in Hampton Roads. Lots of people talking about Charlottesville. Robin says, my family lives in Virginia. They're still on mandatory masks, blah, blah. So here there's also a mask mandate, but not everyone pays attention to it. And it depends on the time of day as well. So like Walmart, right? We've all heard how Walmart nationally has the mask mandate in all of their stores. And here they actually have little stations where they like check you before you go in and tell you to wear a mask and everything. But those people, that like little booth goes away sometime in the afternoon. And then after that, like there's not as many masked people out. It's required in grocery stores, government buildings, pharmacies, and I think technically it's supposed to be in any public place right now, and restaurants. But I'd say it's maybe a 50-50 compliance rate, maybe even like 35, 65, something like that. But yesterday I actually forgot my mask and ran in to get takeout and legit got yelled at by the takeout people who told me I couldn't come in there again without a mask, and like acted like I had the plague and like touched my credit card with like 2 fingers. And that was really disconcerting and uncomfortable, actually. And I apologized and offered to like go run back out to the car and look for it. And they said, no, it's okay. But they like scolded me like a child. Squid Monkey says, now it's time for the white man to get drunk and we'll take back our postage stamp of land. Michael Slack says, kegs outside, that's funny. It's illegal to drink in public in Virginia. Interesting. I did not know that. Again, people complaining I'm pale. I mean, I'm pale anyways, but it's the lighting in here, or I'm definitely gonna have to figure out a better solution for that. John Morgan says, it doesn't stop you drinking inside while the beer's outside. Bit of rubber tube helps. And Vince DeBona, thank you, says, anyone who thinks LD is too pale, get a camera shot of yourself from your computer's cam. It gives off a lot of blue light. It does. I think I'm also going to upgrade my webcam. I know there's also a way to hook up my DSLR for it that I use for my regular videos, but I don't know how to do that, and I am not a technical person at all, so I might just try to get a better webcam. Let's see, what else? Adventures in South Carolina. We've already figured out what a couple of the like bad neighborhoods are to stay away from. Let's see. Oh yeah, so in a similar vein of people being friendly, so all my time in Massachusetts, no one in any of the local like gun rights groups ever reached out to me for anything. I was here in South Carolina for approximately, let's see, how many days? How many days before I got an email? Let's see. So 5 days ago was when? So I was in South Carolina for approximately 5 days and I got an email from the Vice President of South Carolina, Carrie, welcoming me to the state, and asking, if I would consider membership and a few other different things, and telling me a little bit about their organization, and letting me know that someone else on the board recommended my videos to him. And it was like, wow, I'm here for 5 days. And it's like, I figure a gun rights group in Massachusetts is probably a lot smaller than a gun rights group in a pro-gun state, because there are less people that are pro-gun in Massachusetts. And, I'm here for 5 days, and already one of the gun rights groups is reaching out to me. So I don't know much about them. They don't seem to have a really big social media presence. So if anyone does know about them, that would be helpful. Send me out some emails. Oh, that's right. Jonathan Stevie says that I have my phone now so I can do Trashman's intro. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Let's see here. Messages. The Patreon app, by the way, is pretty awful. Okay, so Trashman said, live from the Palmetto State, it's the refugee to the land of the free, the counter to the Karen culture, the voice in the political wilderness, and with that, here's Jolly. So there you go. Thank you, Jonathan Stevie, for reminding me. David Souza says, I need to take some time to relax and plan how you're going forward. I did. We didn't really do... Well, all of last week was spent getting some of the basics that we didn't bring with us, because we left like all of our furniture behind, and most of our stuff, because as I've said before, most of our stuff was second, third, or in some cases even fourth hand. So we left all of our furniture, most of our stuff behind. So then we got here and we needed to find a bed and a couch and like a kitchen table and silverware and all of those things. And some things we didn't bring, and then we wished that we did, or they were supposed to be packed and didn't get packed, or, whatever, what have you. So the first week we did that, but then we also didn't have any internet. So when we weren't doing that, it was kind of sitting around and being like, okay, well, what can we do? And it was weird to go from trying to do like 2 things full time to having nothing to do, and not even having anything to do for I read a lot. I sat on the porch and read a lot. But that was about it. Vince DeBona says, am I the only one that doesn't like intros? No, I'm sure there are other people that don't like them. And people, I don't know why we're talking about Robin Williams, but apparently in the chat we're talking about Robin Williams. Tristan asks, have they invited you to the neighborhood tennis league yet? Don't worry if you can't play. It's just an excuse for a picnic. No, they haven't. But I don't know if that would happen because of COVID or something. But we have explored the local disc golf scene, and my husband has already made a friend, so that's nice. And there are 6 courses within 20 minutes of the new place, which is really cool. And a lot of them are little park courses. And I've definitely noticed all the parks here have tennis courts. And that's not a thing in Massachusetts, so that's kind of cool. And some of the courses are like gorgeous. There was also there was one that was like really bad and like pretty ghetto. But the courses are really nice, but I find myself being really, really paranoid when I'm outside in the woods, especially if there's brush, because there are venomous snakes and spiders here, which are terrifying. And there are like copperheads supposedly in Massachusetts, and I think timber rattlers, but you don't really ever see them. But and there are cottonmouths up there, but there's like all kinds of rattlesnakes and copperheads all over here, and I guess like copperhead infestations are pretty common. And so you have to watch out for those things. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm terrified of like walking into a bush and like getting bit by like a black widow or a giant fucking snake or something. It's a little terrifying to me. So I don't know if that's something that I'm going to get over or if I'm just going to be perpetually frightened of like bushes and brush. But Fat Guy Fitness says, doll, it's not sweet tea, it's just tea. Well, I mean, so typically we don't drink sweetened tea. So, I mean, I guess we specify. I didn't think that I would like it because I don't really like sugary stuff, but it is some peach sweet tea and it is good. When I mentioned the mountains, Andrew Wilhelm put laughing from the Rockies. And Andy says, scoffing New Hampshire resident. Iron Daisies asks why there's 2 thumbs down. Because there are some people who are really against the lives, and that's okay, because you know what? They're not for everyone. But, like, I don't know, they take it, like, personally when I do live streams, and so they give me thumbs downs. I don't know. I get every live stream I do, I get angry comments of people that are like, oh, this isn't news, or this video is too long. And it's like, well, yes, it's a live stream. Or they're like, oh, you spend too much time talking to the people in the comments. It's like, well, yes, it is a live stream with a live chat where I talk to people because we are a community here. Like, that's the whole purpose of live streaming. And yet people still get upset about it. I might try and do some Guns and Gadgets style live breaking news things once I have my set up better, I guess. Admittedly, I know nothing that's been in the news for the last couple of weeks whatsoever, because we've been so busy. The week that we left, it was literally me getting up, doing some packing, doing a full work day, and then staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning packing every single day for the week. And then we got in the car, drove away. And I don't even remember if last time I talked to you folks, if I told you about the tree that fell on our house, because that happened. Massachusetts trying to keep us there. The week before we're trying to leave and put the house on the market, a storm came and dropped a tree on our roof. I don't even remember when I told you guys, if I told you guys that, because it feels like it was a lifetime ago at that point. Yeah, Vince says that he lives in North Carolina but used to live in New York. And he was like, oh, they look at you funny if you say hello to people you don't know. DeBlue Frogo says, wouldn't be the South without a little cicadas. My dog found one like sitting in the grass today and was like playing with it or trying to, and it was like buzzing angrily at him. And he was just like, I don't know, picking it up and like putting it down somewhere else. I don't know. It was really weird. And there's toads. There are tons of toads. Every time I go outside, there's at least like 2 or 3 of them on the little patio. There's tons of them. Tada says, might want to invest in some sound dampening tiles for the wall. It will help the echo and audio quality. I have some. I just, They're in a box somewhere, and I can see 3 right there and some blue big panels. But the thing is also because this is a rental, like I can't glue or tack them onto the walls. So I'm not really sure. I do have, I believe it was Mr. Rover Pilot that had given it to me, a shield, like a sound blocking shield to go around my microphone. And so I intended to use that, but when the pod got shipped, I don't know, it got jiggled around a little bit, and it was not with the rest of my stuff. But so it's in there somewhere, but it's a shield that also has like foam around it, and it's supposed to help with some of that as well. So I will, once I can find that in the pod, that will be going around my microphone, and I'll be using that. Stephen Brown says down south our bugs have freedom to grow. And yes, people talking about the mosquitoes being able to carry off small dogs and cats. Sounds like you've got a neighborhood full of my wife, social butterflies, says BS in California. Yeah, I mean, and we're actually the youngest people in our neighborhood. It's a lot of older folks that are in their 50s and 60s. Many of them have already told us that we're the youngest people in the neighborhood, but I'm okay with that. It's nice and quiet. The only thing about it being quiet is there's a bunch of like empty land behind our house and like the rest of the houses on this street. And there was one day that I was sitting on the porch next to, we have like an all glass door. And I was like, wow, when I was in Massachusetts and would sit next to a door like this, I felt really unsafe and nervous. And here I feel perfectly safe. And no sooner had that thought entered my head when all of a sudden my dog just like jumps up and bristles and puffs out and has his nose up to the door, and he is growling like the kind of growl he does when like a stranger tries to come to the house. And the lights were on and I couldn't see anything. So I was like, oh my God, is there someone out there? And I was totally freaked out. I was so spooked that I told my girlfriends, and actually they suggested I get one of those handheld like deer spotlights. So we actually went and did that the next day. And then the next day we actually saw a deer out there. So that's probably what it was. But my dog has never seen a deer, so it probably just really freaked him out. To Blue Frogo says that cockroach is just vibing on a tree. Yeah, he was vibing on that tree. David Neal asks if I've ever seen the movie 8-Legged Freaks, and no, I have not, because spiders are disgusting. I'm not as afraid of them as I was, but they are disgusting. Vince DeBono says, beware the tops of doors. Roaches love to die up there and then fall on you later on. Oh, maybe that's what it was, because all of the rooms do have doors. They're not just like open doorways. So, Harold Henderson says to buy rubber bands to shoot at the bugs. Let's see. Let's check some super chats. Let's see. Jonathan Stevie says the stripping for metal happens everywhere. Here in West Virginia, construction sites have been hiring security. The drug problem is terrible here. Okay, so that does happen everywhere. Yeah, it's awful. It's crazy. J. Derek Williams says that Jo Jorgensen is actually in the Greenville area. Her running mate is from here in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, I mean, I remember she's a psychology professor at Clemson, right? And I actually drove by Clemson the other day. I didn't realize, for some reason I thought Clemson was in like Columbia. I didn't realize it was upstate somehow. Jesse Meek says, finally had our intro. Now we can get started. And then he says, something else new for the Palmetto State. PSA is going to start making Remington's ammo brands. Oh, interesting. I still have to head over to Palmetto State. It's cool. Like you drive around and there's just like Palmetto State Armory and then like pretty much across the street from that, or like down the street a little bit, is like a Cabela's. And in between them, there's this restaurant that we drove by, and I was like, oh, that looks so cool. We'll have to try it. And it's called Twin Peaks. And the outside is all like stone, and they make it look like some sort of like mountain, like ski resort retreat or something. And I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And then I Googled it, and it's scantily clad ladies. And I was like, oh, maybe we won't try that. It's basically a fancy Hooters. Jesse says, haters going to hate, tell them to kiss off. Nobody makes them watch your channel or your streams. Exactly. Thank you. Robert Chappelle says, did you sell Fort Oppression back in Massachusetts yet? No, actually, the insurance companies and the roofer are still fighting. So that's a little bit of a problem. But the Friday before we left, Charlie Baker just like called in the National Guard for no reason. And when I say no reason, he literally gave no reason. The public asked, the news media asked, and he refused to tell people why he was calling in the National Guard. There's the mandatory flu vaccine, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Massachusetts. The rents in Boston are actually starting to fall because there's no one there, and like the big companies don't have anyone in their offices. Restaurants are dying left and right. And here's a funny one. Charlie Baker actually did a press conference, and he was asked about all the restaurants that are closing in Massachusetts and if he thought it was due to the restrictions put on restaurants, and he flat out said no. And he was like, oh, my heart goes out to all the families whose restaurants have closed, but they haven't closed due to COVID restrictions. Really? Really? Oh my God. Like, he's so dumb. So dumb. J. Derek Williams says, check out Academy Sports across from the PSA there. Okay, like I thought that they might sell some tactical stuff. Oh, and that reminds me. Oh, God, I'm so disorganized today. Two new companies have actually joined the channel on an affiliate level. And I think I'm really excited about them. So one is Mira Safety. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't have my second monitor, so I cannot do a screen share of them. But Mira Safety, they do all kinds of really cool stuff, like gas masks, and I've always wanted a gas mask because I'm weird like that. But they sell all kinds of gas masks and personal protective and tactical equipment. Their tagline is that it's designed for professionals, but available for citizens. So they have all kinds of like respirators. They even have dosimeters for measuring radiation, which I think is so cool. They have all kinds of cool stuff, you guys. Like, I'm probably going to order some of it myself. They have hazmat suits. They have all kinds of cool stuff. A special like iodide tablets to use in a radioactive emergency, Geiger counters, all kinds of really cool stuff. Like, I'm probably gonna end up spending a lot of money on their website, not gonna lie. And it sucks because I can't use my own affiliate links to get stuff from their site. So they have joined the channel, and Bullet Safe has joined the channel, and Bullet Safe does bulletproof and tactical vests, which I think are really cool too. So lots of people that make luau gear. I was like, am I still allowed to say that word? I don't know. So I think that's really cool. Really cool. People are asking what my shirt says. I don't know if you can see it. It's my logo shirt. though you can't see it because, yeah, normally I have this like propped up a little bit, but yeah. So that's really cool. So mirror safety and bullet safe. Really cool. I'm really excited about that. I'm definitely going to buy some of their stuff myself because that's just super cool. The Ice Hut Shindig. I like that. De Blue Frago says the Ice Hut Shindig. Okay. That's what we'll call it now. Andy says that he was disappointed they didn't have a Class A hazmat suit. So I don't know the difference in the classes. So I guess I'll have to do some research actually and figure out like what gear I want to get. Because even before I was, worries of ice huts or anything else, I always thought like gas masks were so cool because I was a goth kid for a while, and so of course I was into that stuff and liked that stuff. So I've been wanting to get like a gas mask and stuff like that for a really long time. I just think it's cool stuff to have. So like, I don't know, maybe I'll get I have shelves behind me now. Like maybe I can put some stuff on the shelves, or like, I don't know, I have my Don't Tread on Me flag. Like I can figure out how to make this place look cool and put things up in here maybe, or like put shelves behind me with stuff or something. Warren Harrison says to use the 3M command strips. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that because actually there are some of them on like the doors and things here already. So I might be able to do that. That'd be a lot of command strips though to put up that foam stuff. I'm hoping once I get like my backdrop up, I mean, that'll cover a whole wall. Though I don't know, maybe I don't even want to use it. Well, I mean, I probably will. I might even get a different, I don't know. There's lots of figuring out to do here. It's kind of like so many options now. iGlouch asks, does humidity bother you? I never thought that it did, but I do notice now that we're here and it's not humid. So I'm someone, I don't know, this might be TMI or whatever, but I usually have typically like pretty oily skin, and my skin has been a lot better here. And I'm not like, I don't know, I don't get like as hot and sticky, and my allergies have been a lot better too. So typically I have to take allergy medicine every day, and like here I've only been taking it like every other day. And at that point I only take it because I'm like, oh, it's starting to get a little like harder to breathe. Larry's Ammo Bench says that coyotes are a bit of a problem here. Well, coyotes were a problem where I was living before too. I mean, I would go outside to take the dog out at night and you could hear them. And I was downtown. I mean, granted, it was like a small city, like college area, but like you could hear them. So they were an issue there too. Command hooks work well for short periods of time. Leave them up and you will tear paint or wallpaper, says Vince DeBona. Yeah, that's what I would be worried about. People talking about rubber band guns and slingshot reminds me that's another difference between here and Massachusetts. Here, Walmart still sells guns, which is surprising. It's all like shotguns and things, but like things like BB guns and slingshots and scopes and pellet guns and things like that are all like on the shelf, out in the open, not locked up. That is not the case in Massachusetts. Half of that might be because it's Massachusetts, and half of that might be because all the Walmarts up there that were around us were in really bad ghetto areas. Iron Daisy says, still waiting for notification. Talisman says, do a show from PSA. So I might actually, once I kind of like figure out my setup, and I might actually like reach out to some companies and do like ask if I can do like videos with them or something, or even just like, buying my first South Carolina gun or something. that stuff might not be able to go on YouTube, so that would probably have to be like a BitChute or Full30 thing or something. I don't know. And I've also, maybe doing videos of like some training or something. Such is in South Carolina and sent me like a welcome email actually, which was really nice. And so I've asked him recommendations for like training people and stuff like that. So we'll see. iGlouch asks, what is your specialization in psychology? So my degree is actually in mental health counseling. So I guess mental health counseling. I used to specialize in severe and chronic mental illness and personality disorders, but as I have gotten further in my career, I have learned that is not something that you really want to be dealing with in private practice, especially if you are a solo practitioner like myself and not in a group. It's just not an appropriate setting to really handle someone that needs that level of care. So actually, I did in like March, I think, start doing training for life coaching. And, I can't take the South Carolina clients until I can apply for the license and do all of that. So I think that I'm even going to change my Psychology Today profile over to life coaching, and people, with kind of a lesser scale of issues going forward. Let's see. Warhorse says, LOL, Twin Peaks. Aw, come on, it's Liberty Dude's birthday. Mida person says the live chat keeps blacking out, then popping back on. What's up with that? I have no idea. I'm hoping that it's not my internet. Lafiva says, your immune system can get stronger. My dad is allergic to deodorant and I've never smelt him. I was without showers for a month and I stopped smelling. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard that that's a thing that can happen. Yeah, people saying that YouTube is sucking today. So Hugh Galbraith says that 400,000 people have moved out of New York City this year, many coming to New Jersey. That's interesting. Brian Blackwell says to get my deer tag and hunting license. I don't know if I'll do that, but we did go to it. So we did find a restaurant that's really cool. And maybe I'll take Liberty Dude there for his birthday tomorrow. We already tried it once. We actually had a friend visit us already, which was really cool. We have a friend who's like a biker dude, and he drove his bike down and stayed with us for a day and then went back. And we tried this restaurant called Saskatoon. And their menu changes every single day, but we tried elk, ostrich, quail, and kangaroo, and it was really, really good. Actually, kangaroo is really good. Ostrich was okay. Quail is basically the best chicken I've ever tasted. The elk was really good, and the kangaroo was really good. And their stuff changes all the time, I guess. And the whole thing, you go inside and there's like this mural of like a sunset over water and mountains, and there's like deer heads and moose heads and all kinds of cool stuff. It's kind of like walking into a Bass Pro Shop, but it's a restaurant. So that was really cool, and like everyone was super friendly. Let's see. People asking about farmers markets. I don't know. I'm hoping there's a farmers market around somewhere. I haven't seen any yet. E-Rock says, greetings from North Carolina, specifically the North Carolina-South Carolina border. Pretty cool. John Morgan says that ostrich eggs make a mighty fine omelet. I have heard that. We also tried some wild boar sausage, which was really good. And like I said, I guess whatever their specials are, like, change all the time. But yeah, it was really good. And they have like buffalo burgers. There's actually a lot of places you can go here and get like bison burgers, which are pretty cool. So, okay, Gregory Sains is asking me to talk about what was happening in Wisconsin. So, and they're asking a lot. So, I have not been, I know what happened with it. First of all, I don't know. How do I say this? I have heard that there are some people that have talked about it and gotten their videos removed. So I'm hesitant to talk about it in that regard, but also I have not, like, after the initial event, like the initial event happened and then I started packing to move, so I haven't been following the news, so I don't really have anything that I can say about it, except that when it originally happened and I watched all of the videos, because I found a video that had all of the videos from all the different angles, like in order. It was pretty clearly self-defense. But other than that, I mean, I haven't been following the news, so I can't comment on any new developments on it at all. The real Henry Fondle says if you're in the upstate, there is a farmer's market in downtown Greenville every Saturday until October. Oh, that's good to know. We did explore downtown Greenville one day, and it was so pretty, and it was kind of like, my husband's not a city person, and I'm not particularly either, but I like seeing areas like that for the architecture and the gardens and the statues and things like that. And it was like really cool. Like you get to that area and there's like this footbridge and these waterfalls, and across the little like river, there were a couple of gentlemen out playing violin, and there were like ducks and geese in the water. And then on the other side, there's all these waterfalls with like wading pools, and there's a community garden, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Let's see. David Rogers says also there's a farmer's market on Rutherford Road in Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, why is this not scrolling? My live chat just froze. People asking how big is my dog. He's about 40 pounds, so he is not small, but he's not big. I'd say he's about medium size. Gregory Signs, okay, says the name's pronounced size. It's okay. It's an old Spanish name. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that there was an issue in Rochester, New York, but again, like I saw a couple headlines. I have not been paying attention to the news. Brendan Herrera, the AK guy, got a gun meme review video taken down about Wisconsin. It was re-uploaded. Okay, well, that's good to know. Oh, Dayoma says you joined the same Pokemon group I'm in. Oh, well, hello. That was the first thing I did when we got here. I was like, I need to make friends, and I had just gotten back into playing Pokemon, so I joined a Pokemon group. So hello. It was funny. No one that I knew of in that group recognized me, but I posted in South Carolina Cary, and there was a few people in there that recognized me, so that was kind of funny. So hello, Pokemon friend. Swiss Army Tin says YouTube didn't notify me of this. Ugh, Greenvillian here. What's up? So next week we will be back to a more regular format with actual like news and better lighting and my whole setup. Actually, we're gonna try to get the setup to put together tomorrow, hopefully, so that I'll be able to start working on videos again. Because I know people have been asking me, like, oh my God, where are you? If they haven't seen the other posts or anything like that. So I am here, I'm alive. I just moved and didn't have any of my equipment until like last night. So I got to figure out how to get back into a new routine and get the videos going and all of that. And even getting back into D&D, which is pretty cool. Chris Fordham says, I love Twin Peaks, LOL. Daomis says, I saw your picture and was like, wait a second, she looks familiar. Came and looked at your YouTube channel and was like, it is her. Yeah, that was a couple other people had that experience in the South Carolina Carry group. Someone was like, has anyone ever told you that you look like Liberty Girl? Gregory Science says, is this video sponsored by USCCA or Raid Shadow Legends? No. USCCA is an affiliate, but I don't actually, so sponsors pay you to run ads. There isn't actually anyone that pays me to run ads. All of my channel partners, I get like a small commission if you use my affiliate links and end up buying something from them. So there is not actually anyone that pays me to run ads on my channel. Chester Thomas, hello, says YouTube being sneaky and didn't notify me. Oh, well, better late than never. I mean, I was really late too because I was trying to figure out all of this crap. People are giving me their Pokemon names. Okay. But see, the only thing about that is then, like, you're going to see what Pokestops I get if I send you gifts. But okay, let's see. I'll have to just write these down and do them later. Let's see. Pokemon friends. And then I have to go over to D&D. I've heard the M in Massachusetts is silent. Might as well. I mean, the funny thing is so since we don't know where anything is here, so there is a thing in Boston, in Massachusetts, called Bangin' a Yui. And I don't know if that's so much of a thing in other areas where it's basically you make a sudden and abrupt U-turn where you're not really probably supposed to. And we've been saying that we can get away with that because we still have our Massachusetts plates. But once we get rid of the Massachusetts plates, we probably won't be able to do that. Username of Frog Muffin. All right, so I will keep an eye out for you. And let's see. I know that. So there was another super chat that came in because I saw that it came in from Andy, but now it's not showing up. So Andy says, money's for you to get Mr. LD a birthday gift from me and Krista. Thank you. We did find, because he has a lot of food allergies, we did find a gluten-free vegan carrot cake at Whole Foods. And you know what's funny is my father-in-law kept telling us that we were moving to a trailer park. Yes, because trailer parks have Whole Foods and restaurants that sell you like ostrich steaks. Okay. But yes, so he has, unfortunately, he's gluten intolerant and has a really severe dairy allergy, which sucks because he loves cheese. So we did find a dairy-free, gluten-free carrot cake, and it was pretty delicious. Robert Chappelle says, have you sampled the tap water? No, we have not. I'm drinking Deer Park because apparently Poland Springs doesn't exist here. And I found, I'm still looking for some reason, the canister of my Alexa Pure water filter and the actual filter itself got separated into different boxes. So I'm still looking for the other pieces. So I'm just drinking Deer Park right now. And Mr. Rover Pilot says, strongest handheld flashlight, Nightcore $1.26. I have no idea what we have. Whatever we have, we got from Walmart. There have been many trips to Walmart because that's the store that's open the latest here. Let's see. Let me pop back open. Where did I move to? I moved to upstate South Carolina. I don't really want to say the exact city or town because doxing is still a concern. But yes, I am in upstate South Carolina, hence the thumbnail that says greetings from South Carolina that I took from an ACLU YouTube video. Because that's what they used as a thumbnail. The water is not brown at my new place, which is nice, but we don't have hot water in the kitchen, which needs to be remedied. Daomis says areas around here have some of the best tap water, so it's not the worst, but I'm sure it tastes different. I mean, I'll try it. I just know that, in Massachusetts where we were specifically, it was brown and smelled like onions or chlorine. Cheeto463 says, don't list the city, just give us your exact GPS coordinates. I will have a P.O. box. I actually do have a P.O. box. Well, I'm using my husband's P.O. box. I don't actually know where it is. But it's at a post office in a different town, I can tell you that. Telling me to check the shutoff valve. I don't even know where that is, but I can look for it. Stay away from Asheville, North Carolina. Yes, I have heard that. A Bang-A-Yui, do you mean the Bang bus? No, I mean, I think there is a bus called I think there was a bus called the Bang bus, but no, Bang-A-Yui, it just means you take a sudden U-turn. It's Boston slang. David Neal says to get myself a trail camera so I can get pictures and videos of my nighttime visitors. Check out a YouTuber trail camera pickup. That's not a bad idea, and we actually were considering doing that anyways for security purposes. There's definitely wildlife out here because there is something that has shown up a couple times and left some scat on our patio, so I know there's something out there. But on that note, I know that this was really haphazard and late, and I apologize for that and it being so low budget and low production. But I wanted to get back into the routine. Next week will be better because I will be back with keeping up with the news. So I'll have news items to talk about, and I'll have my other monitors, so I'll be able to share screens and news stories and different things like that. So yes. So anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in and dealing with the hot mess, the little bit of the hot mess that this was. And check out the new affiliates, Mira Safety and Bullet Safe, for their vests. I know that I'm gonna check them out for sure and do some research and figuring out which of the things are the best things for me. I'm super excited to do that, and like I said, maybe I'll figure out a way to display my gas mask or something once I get it. So everyone, thanks for tuning in, putting up with everything, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. I'm in the wrong window to hit end broadcast. Okay, bye.